Picks and Bet Show presented by Prize Picks right here on the Mayo Media Network. Thanks for taking the time to hang out. Please rate, review, subscribe, like this video, leave a comment in the YouTube section. Maybe it's a season-long question that you have, an ad or a drop, or just a betting question, anything. We'll take absolutely anything, and we'll circle back before puck drop. I love the questions. I love coming back. I think last week somebody had a question about whether they should take a trade with Kevin Fiala, of getting Malkin involved in that trade. So I'm here for all of that stuff. I absolutely love it. So if you have any questions, please leave them, and we will circle back. I got Cam Stewart hanging by 6 games on the ice tonight, so we're going to break it all down in just a few moments. But it is time for the Prize Picks play of the day. This week, I think on Monday, I mentioned Nathan McKinnon was at 4, didn't like it, thought it was disrespectful. We hit it. And then on Wednesday, Mikko Rantanen was at 3.6, thought it was disrespectful. We hit it. And then today, both of these guys are at 4. Again, disrespectful. And I'm going right back to them. Why not? It worked out. I like Mikko Rantanen a little bit more than McKinnon. They're both at 4. They're both fine. McKinnon expected to play after leaving early on Wednesday. He took a high hit, but Rantanen is fresh off a 4-point game. He had 2 goals, 4 shots. He has 11 shots in his past 3 games, averaging 3.3 shots per game. This is why I'm always taking the over on his 2.5 shot prop. And you'll find it over at prizepicks.com as well. But I'm looking at just the fantasy points at 4. So he has a nice solid floor there, averaging 3.3 shots, averaging 20 minutes per game, getting a lot of ice time, double shifts here and there, usually playing majority of the power play time as well. So he's got just a ton of ice time lately, right? When they're down in games, and I don't expect them to be down today, but when they're down in games, he just gets a lot of ice time. And I know a lot of people are shy to attack John Gibson. He's a great goalie, but he's allowed 3+ goals in 7 straight games, 11 of his last 13. He's only had a save percentage above 93 times over those 13 games too. So he's struggling. He can only do so much. His team in front of him is not that great. So I like Mikko Rantanen, and I like Max Pacioretty here too at 4.5, 2 goals and 4 points over his last 2 games, 14 shots over that span, at least 3 shots on goal in 8 straight games and 16 of 19. So like Rantanen, a solid floor there and a higher floor because he's had 2 shots in every game and he's averaging 4.4 shots per game. So to me, that's like starting with 2 free fantasy points. You know he's going to get 3 or 4 shots. You know he's going to get to that 4 points. So all we need him to do is hit the score sheet, whether it's an assist or a goal. He's back up top with Mark Stone and Chandler Stevenson. So all he needs is a point against this Sharks team. 5-on-5 numbers. They've allowed the 6th most shots per 60 minutes, the 2nd most goals per 60 minutes, the 6th most high danger chances, and the 4th most scoring chances. And Vegas, well, all they've done is created the 2nd most scoring chances at 5-on-5. So a pretty good matchup for Pacioretty and Mikko Rantanen and Nathan McKinnon. Check out prizepicks.com. The link in the description for a promo code as well. Let's bring in Cam Stewart. Cam, happy Friday, buddy. What's going on?
Happy Friday, Meaney. Yeah, no, I'm losing my voice. I'm losing my mind. I'm going to tell you something. You're Montreal Canadiens. I'd like to take the whole organization and ship them off to Russia. These guys can go. They come back against the Jets. They lose. Big game in a parlay for me. I got to be honest with you, Meaney, too. Bergevin, what kind of guy fires a goalie coach in the 2nd period? Like, show some class. Like, this guy's unbelievable. Like, you at least finish the game anyway. This team is just must be driving you nuts. You're a fan of them, and they're costing me big parlays. Not very impressed, pal. Not impressed.
Yeah, Cam, I don't blame you, man. I've been staying away from them. The last week when they were in Winnipeg, the Jets were plus money in those 2 games. I jumped on that, and then they were plus money again yesterday. I said, you know, I'm just going to step away a bit. I still need to see a little bit more from this Habs team. The thing that's actually ticked me off with Montreal, and I thought it was a Julian thing, the way they're just brutal when it comes to 4-on-4, 3-on-3 special teams, right? The skill is not there. 5-on-5, they're great. They control the puck. They don't give up a whole lot. We've talked about that at length. It's actually annoying to continue to talk about it, but they're special teams.
Yep.
And they're 3-on-3. Okay. So last week they started overtime with Philip Deneau and I don't even know who else. It didn't matter. Philip Deneau, like, no disrespect, but Deneau has 1 goal in his last 45 games, like 1 goal in his last 300 days. He's not a goal scorer. And they're starting overtime that way against 3 Jets in Scheifele, Wheelers, and I think it was Pierre-Luc Dubois. So it's like,
that's
okay,
a problem. That's
a problem. And then after the game, they said, listen, okay, well, they started with 3 forwards. We wanted to own the puck, and then we'll make the changes. Okay, so, all right, fine. And it's your first or second game as a coach in the NHL. We'll give you a pass. Then last night against the Jets, he starts overtime with Paul Byron and Jesperi Kotkaniemi. What? Like, it's 5 minutes of overtime. It's all it is. It's 5 minutes. You're trying to score. You're trying to get the point. You're not trying to get to a shootout because you're going to lose that anyways
Yep.
against all the skilled players that Winnipeg has. It's mind-boggling that the way that they approach overtime 3-on-3, like, play your players. Play Duran. Play Suzuki. Gallagher doesn't touch the ice in overtime. I get it. He's not as quick, but he's a goal scorer. Tatar should be playing. Romanoff, not touching the ice, but Ben Sherrod is. So I don't blame you. Everybody out there, I would continue to
Sounds like you should be the general manager of the team, Meaney. You got more answers than anybody else there.
I don't know. I talked to my Habs buddies, and we're in a chat, and we're like, we can't be smarter than NHL coaches. They're in tune. They know what's going on. But to start overtime last night against,
do they,
Scheifele,
Meaney? I question it sometimes. You know what I mean? Some of these guys are hockey guys.
My goodness.
But they just, know what it is? It's just, you could be a hockey guy, but you also have to adapt. You also have to become a different person. You know what I mean? You can't just use the same old tricks, everything that you do all the time. They got to diversify, man. Once in a while, you got to shake it up. Like, look at the Leafs. See what they're doing with their lines and stuff like that? They're winning games. It's like, oh, I have a hunch. I'm going to put this guy on. Like, they're mixing it up, and it works, and it works, and it works. Sometimes you got to take a few chances instead of just being stupid. Like, that's the thing, man. And you said it. In overtime, I don't care if Gallagher's slow. The guy scores goals. In my opinion, he's got to go out there.
Well, there's no reason for them to start with Deneau or start with Kotkaniemi. I mean, put some goal scorers on there if you want to get some goals. But yeah, it just they're a frustrating team to watch right now.
Sure.
I wouldn't bet on them at all. They got the Jets again on Saturday. I'd go right back to Winnipeg. So 6 games on the ice tonight. Let's start with the Bruins and the Capitals. Man, this game, completely wrong on this one on Wednesday. Thought we'd see some goals, and there was like a halfway point. I looked, and there was like 12 shots on goal. It's like nothing was happening. The Caps won 4 straight. They ended up winning that game 2-1. Man, some dirtiness in that game, and I expect we'll probably see some more roll over tonight. Boston favored -141 at home, Caps +123. The Bruins 12-5-3, the Caps 13-5-4. The total here at 6 again. What do you think, Cam?
Yeah, actually, I hit the total in the other game. I liked the under.
Nice.
Thought it was going to be kind of a playoff style, but I had Boston, and that was wrong. I'm going back to the Bruins, Meaney. Here's the deal. They could have won that game. They were up. Washington tied it. They got the job done. Very evenly matched teams. The juice isn't too high. I think Boston, they're just the type of team not to lose again. And we talk about this. Hey, Ovechkin, if you're going to spear me in the nuts, I love the NHL. $5,000 fine. That's all we get. The CBA's $5,000. Okay, you could take off the guy's pecker, but I think he should have got 5 games for that type of stuff. The stick work is ridiculous, but hey, we're not working for the organization, and we're only here to make bets. Bruins and the total tonight, I'm not going to touch, but I would lean under.
I can't believe he didn't get a game or two. It's just because it's Ovechkin, right? I know Brad Marchand has a bit of a history, but if he's doing that, he's getting 5. He's getting 10.
For sure.
Yeah, it was Bush League. It was brutal. I can't believe he did it. I was shocked, actually. Like, I know he takes a lot of heat, and usually he doesn't. There's not a lot of stick work with him. He's not afraid. He doesn't shy away from the toughness. He throws his body around. He takes a lot of heat as well. But to do that was, I'm with you. I think the Bruins probably are a little ticked off with that. And I think
here's the thing too.
Probably bounce back.
Yeah, I know we're here to talk about bets and stuff like that, but basically, if Ovechkin has any guts, these guys just settle it themselves. They just drop him right at the start of the game. Let's dance. Get this over with. Some guy did that to me. You know what I mean, Meaney? That's what you got to do. I think a message has to be sent here. That's my opinion.
Do you think that Ovi drops the gloves tonight?
I would love to see it. I'd love to see him get his ass kicked personally. You don't do that type of stuff. Like, I know we talk about Sidney Crosby. Sometimes he's got a little bit of a slew fit in him. Malkin, the same thing. But Ovechkin, he can run guys into the boards and stuff. But when you're putting your stick there, like, that's so weak. I hope he gets his ass kicked tonight. I hope there's a fight, and I hope he loses.
Chicago and Tampa Bay in here next. This was a very entertaining game last night. The Blackhawks at home +163, Tampa -190.
They grind.
Yeah, they are good. You're right. Patrick Kane deserves to be in the Hart conversation.
Agreed.
As great as Austin Matthews has been and Connor McDavid, yada, yada, those guys are stars. They got stars on their team. And Chicago entered the year without Kirby Dach, without Jonathan Taves. They don't have any of those guys. Who knows if Taves is even going to come back this season? Question marks in goal. They've gotten some decent goaltending over the past month or so, but Patrick Kane has really just taken this team on his back, and he's made them competitive, and they're in every single game this year. I mean, these two teams played at the start of the year, and it was a blowout. Tampa won both of them. But ever since that first week, Chicago has been extremely competitive with everybody. I've heard Kane say, wow, we have this feeling in the dressing room where we played Carolina. Everybody's talking about them being Stanley Cup contenders. We've beaten them. We've hung around with Tampa Bay. We've beaten other teams like Dallas, who are struggling.
Yeah, oh,
But
that team.
Chicago,
Yes.
they gave this one up. We had a tweet this morning. I don't know if you saw it, Cam. We came in late last night. Somebody took your advice. Tampa was down 2-0 heading into the third. Plus money. I think they got him at plus 650, 700. Bolts come back, tie the game, win in overtime with 0.1 left. And it easily could have been a Blackhawks win. I think the Brink had hit the bar in overtime just before that. But what do you think in the rematch here? We got the total at 6. Tampa, minus 190 is tough.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm not betting Tampa Bay at Chicago or nothing. I was on Chicago on the puck line, and we got that done last night, Meaney. But here's the thing. Everyone thinks Chicago's this loser team. No, they got decent goaltending, and you said it. If anybody's watching hockey, Kane's been one of the best players in the league this year, hands down. With all the injuries that they have, think about Tampa Bay. They squeaked out that win. It wasn't their best. Sure, they could kill Chicago, but that line's way too big for me. Maybe the Blackhawks find a way. I don't like betting against this team because they're really gritty. Really want to take Chicago, Meaney, but I also don't want to lose money because Tampa Bay can win every damn game that they play. But I'm looking at the Blackhawks. In puck line parlays at plus 1.5, minus 165. Find a dance partner. I think that's good. I think they can linger again.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. And, we're going to get a bit of a break. We're not going to see Andre Vasilevsky, so that's a plus, right? I mean, Curtis McElhinney played pretty good. I would assume that they're going to go with Curtis McElhinney, but I know he did play pretty good last time out. Shot props, there's really nothing here. Tampa mixed all their lines up. We'll talk about it in DFS, but they have Stamkos with Yanni Gord and Alex Killorn. I would consider maybe the under on Stamkos. He hasn't really gotten the 3 shots. I know he scored last night. We had him. There was a promotion going on at DraftKings that a couple people reached out. First goal, and if they just scored, you got your money back. And
nice.
I told everyone Stamkos. He did find the back of the net later on, but he was really, again, just not generating a lot of offense. And if he's not going to play with Braden Point, then I'm not going to be into him. I know I don't pick a lot of unders, but that is kind of my favorite of the bunch. If you can get DeBrincat 2.5, not at minus 195, which DraftKings is offering, then I would take that, but that's just too high. Minus 195. It's not for me. Patrick Kane, 3.5 plus 100 is not bad. But again, I just try to seek out the 2.5. 3.5 is just too much. We'll probably find some shot props in this next game.
Yep.
Between Minnesota and Arizona. The Coyotes plus 123, 10-12 against the spread, 5.5 the total here, 10-9-3. Coyotes 12-7-1, Minnesota minus 141, 10-10 against the spread. This Minnesota team was rolling and they just ran into Marc-Andre Fleury. I thought that they probably easily, Cam, they could have easily won both of those games. The first one, they gave it up. They were up 4-2 in the third. Vegas came back and won in overtime. And then the second game was Marc-Andre Fleury absolutely stealing the show. So what do you think?
I'm with you. Minnesota should have won both of those games. And I do disagree with one thing. I know Parise was on the ice for a long time, and they decided to make him a healthy scratch after 16 years. He's just trying to get his buddy a hat trick there. I think that was an overreaction by Evason. You can't do that to a veteran player, and that's why I bet Vegas in the game afterwards. I think that was stupid. As for this game, I'm gonna lay it with Minnesota. I wish it was a little bit less than that, but you said it, man. These guys could have beat Vegas both games. They're hot. They're underrated. Arizona's a gritty team and could be a dangerous home dog, but I think Minnesota, after those heartbreakers against Vegas, they show up tonight and get it done.
I think so too. Matt Zuccarello's shot prop is 1.5 over at DraftKings Sportsbook minus 112. Definitely going to be in on that one. I like that one quite a bit. And Matt Kaprizov, your boy, plus money. I'm not seeing him right now, but in other spots, you can get him plus money. He's firing right now.
No, you got to play him. Play Kaprizov, and I agree. Here's the thing about Arizona, though. Like, they're a sneaky team. Like, you know what I mean, Meaney? You look at it and go, good situation for the Wild, but I get scared. Like, Arizona is just one of those teams. They don't get any respect either.
No, they don't. And I watched that game against the Kings, and they hung on. They should have beat them. We were on LA here, Griff Dog and I. Ranta played really good. I mean, he made 40 saves, and he filled in just the game before that when Kemper got hurt, and he made 35 saves. This guy has seen 82 shots in his last 2 games. So, yeah, it is scary with Zona. They're competitive as well. They play to a lot of unders, but I got to lean Minnesota here. I just got to go with the team that I think slightly better overall. What do you think about the total 5.5? Is it stay away from you?
Actually, I like the over. I'm going to tell you something. Minnesota, they're not that under team the way they used to be. I know versus Vegas, but that they ran into a hot goaltender. Those games should have gone over. Arizona could score a few. Actually, you know what? At 5.5, Meaney, I've been noticing these 5.5s. I like to take the over more, and everyone thinks the 6.5s are going to be track meets, and they go under sometimes. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I like Minnesota. I think we can get 6 goals in this game.
I like that call. Yeah, you're dead on the 6.5. Everyone just seems like it's over and it's under. Yeah. These next couple games are really tough to lay juice on the money line. I get Colorado here minus 265, 7-13 against the spread, 12-7-1 on the year. The Ducks plus 217, 15-8 against the spread. So they're hanging around. Totals at 5.5. But overall, I mean, 6-12-5. I mean, what do you do with this game here tonight?
Oh, you could parlay Colorado, I guess. And you talked about Gibson guitars. This guy's the best, but they ran him into the ground. It's pretty simple. Like this guy just sees too much rubber. Colorado wasn't really impressed with that game, Meaney, against San Jose. They pulled away late, but
bunch of power plays is why. Yeah. They had a 5-minute power play, which helped them.
Colorado's been actually underachieving.
Yes.
You can put them in a parlay. I just don't trust Anaheim, but I'm let's just say this, Meaney, I'm not running to the window to bet Colorado. They can let you down.
They can let you down. Yeah. I think what we've said before together on this show is that the difference between Vegas and Colorado is Vegas just seems like they're all business. Like they'll play the Sharks. We'll get to in a little bit, but I just can't see them losing 6-2 to the Sharks, where we just saw it with Colorado just the other day. They got spanked by the Sharks. And you're right. Colorado they've been underwhelming. They haven't lived up to the expectations just yet. But they still, I agree. Maybe a parlay. Like I can't feel good about them puck line. Matt, you're a puck line guy. We got it the other day, but I think we got lucky with that 5-minute power play. Matt, are you on the puck line here with the Avs tonight?
I don't really like the puck line. I don't think there's enough on the puck line for me to go after it. I might throw the Avs in a few money line parlays, but that's about it with this team. They're like you said, they've been underwhelming. They haven't been the dominant team that everyone expected. I mean, it's not to say that they're a bad team. It's just they're not up in that echelon of instant bet against subpar average team for the most part. They're in the, I don't know about this one. Let's hold on for a bit and see what happens. But yeah, they'll still be a part of some parlays, but they're definitely not a core piece for me tonight.
I like Brandon again, 2.5 shots. Why not? Let's just continue to do it until it goes up to 3.5 or until it's like minus 200. You can get in certain spots still at minus 140, minus 150. Like I said, off the top of the show, he just continues to shoot, and McKinnon as well, 3.5. It's just that line, Cam, every time they're on the ice, they just dominate. I always find that's the line, and that's the issue. I'm waiting for the secondary pieces, right? Like Burakovsky and Saad and Donskoy to get going. Kadri's been pretty decent lately too. But it's that first line. Every time that they get on the ice, they just own the puck in the offensive zone. So I'm a big fan of that. And if you can find Girard anywhere, if Cale Makar is not going to play in this game, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he is not going to play. Just keep an eye on it. But if he doesn't, Girard is a guy that I like as well. Usually you can find him 1.5, and he's been getting a lot of power play time filling in for Cale Makar. So speaking of Vegas, they're in San Jose tonight. The Sharks, home dogs, plus 175, 11-9 against the spread. They playing a little bit better lately themselves too. Minus 205 for Vegas, 9-10 against the spread, 14-4-1. The Golden Knights, 8-10-2. The Sharkies, total at 6. This is another one, Cam. This is a heavy favorite here tonight in Vegas.
I'm going to tell you something, Meaney. SJ Sharky's calling my name. I think this is going to be my upset of the night. They beat Colorado. They're hanging in there. They're lingering. Vegas didn't really outplay Minnesota and won. These are the type of games, feeling good about yourself, even though you haven't played that good. If their goaltender doesn't stand on his head, I think the Sharks can win. I'd also look at the over in this game. If San Jose is going to win, they're probably going to have to score 4 goals. So, I'm on SJ Sharky tonight. Let's go. My favorite 2 mascots, Stanley C. Panther and SJ Sharky. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go.
I like it. I like the stones that you have.
Well, we'll see what my wallet and account looks like at the end of the night, but I think San Jose's a live dog.
They've been competitive. They're hanging around. Kane has played really good. Couture has played strong. Carlson looks a little bit better since he's returned to the lineup too. I'm not going to join you, but I don't think I'm going to get involved with the money line here in Vegas and Colorado tonight. Like, I just think I have to go elsewhere, and puck lines are not really my jam. But maybe just Fleury takes a night off. If Fleury could take a night off, then I definitely
time.
get behind San Jose. Yeah, it is party time. I like some of these shot props again. I like Pacioretty in there. I think if you can find Kane, Evander Kane 2.5 is fine. Logan Couture is plus money 2.5 plus 100. I like that one quite a bit. I just have issues with the Sharks defense, Cam.
I do too.
Hang around and score some goals, but they need to get a strong showing from looking right now. Confirmed goalies. We don't have anything. It's the first of a back-to-back for both teams. So it's very possible, like these guys are going to play again. It's very possible that we could.
Hunter starts.
Yeah, or maybe just Fleury just taking a day off, right?
Yeah.
Just take a day off, and Martin Jones maybe steps up. One more game to talk about.
I'm just saying one more thing. If you like the Sharks, you probably got to take the over, right?
You do.
They're not going to win a 2-1 game.
No, they're not. Well, yeah, no.
Well, they could.
They would need really, really strong goaltending, which I don't think they'll get. But yeah, I would agree. If you like them, just go all in with goals, right? And just take the over and maybe take the Sharks on the puck line. Maybe just that, and you'd be fine.
Yep.
Kings and Blues plus 110 for LA, 16-5. St. Louis minus 127, 6-17 against the spread, 9-8-4. Kings 13-8-2 for the Sharks, or for the Blues rather. The Kings went on that nice run, and then they ran into the Wilds.
Yep.
And I thought they should have won the other night. Like I said, Rantanen made some saves, man. A couple real lucky ones, but he made them. Kings are kind of interesting to me tonight.
I agree because the thing is, everyone thinks the Blues have just righted the ship, but I'm not so sure about that. Right? Look at their wins, like Anaheim, and they didn't really even play that good. Like nothing's easy for this team right now. Like they're playing better, but it's still not good enough. The Kings have lost some games in a row. You're getting 15 cents with a home dog. Sign me up. Hello. Yeah. William Regal, baby. Let's go with the Kings, man. It's I think we're eating tonight, Meaney. Seafood and steak with the Kings. The Blues, they're going to be singing the blues because they're going to lose this game. I'm on. Let's do it. Let's take the dog tonight. Kings are live.
Yeah, I agree. They're just playing really good hockey too, and I'm not sold on St. Louis. I still think that they're trying to adapt from losing Pietrangelo. They haven't been getting great goaltending. Their top six is just okay. No Schwartz, Tarasenko's been out of there. Jordan Kyrou has done a nice job. Zach Sanford showed up recently on the score sheet, but this isn't a guy who should be really playing on the top line or in the top six. So yeah, let's do it. Let's go with the Kings. Let's go over to. I was looking at a shot prop. I don't see one that I love. I know we nailed Brown on Wednesday. We didn't get David Perron. I'm not really into any of these guys. I mean, it's a bit of a smaller slate at 6. I think if I had to pick between Brown and Perron, it would be Dustin Brown. I think he's gotten there a little bit more recently. He's having a good year. He's another guy who just gets a lot of ice time, parks his butt right in front of the net.
Exactly.
So reflections there, maybe some rebounds. Kopitar is that setup man. And Drew Doughty maybe potentially 1.5. I can get behind that. We were all over him on Wednesday, DK. He's a guy that's playing really good this year. Really, really strong. Almost a point per game. Logging a lot of minutes. Has really showed up lately too. And hit the score sheet last time out. He had gotten a goal. So let's head over to DraftKings and find out where all the goals are going to come from tonight. We have Nathan McKinnon up at the top, 8-9, Bergeron 7-7, Point 6-6, Couture 6-3, Kopitar 6-1, Shen 6, Backstrom 5-9, Riley 5-8. I don't know if I'm going to spend up at center. I may try to find some value. Is there any names that just pique your interest there? Bergeron, like you think this is an all go, systems go for Boston tonight? Or you liked the under there, didn't you?
I kind of did, but what Kings can you give me? Because I think I think they're going to be the sneak. Honestly, Meaney, I got a plan. Sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather with my voice or whatever like this, but listen to this one. How about some Kings and Sharks in your lineup? Nobody's going to play that stuff.
You're right. Yeah,
You know what? You put them in, you're just going to be sitting back. If the Kings score goals and win, and SJ Sharkey pulls off the upset, just light up a cigar and have a drink, Beanie. I'm telling you, it might be a good night to play these teams.
I like it. Yeah, be contrarian. You have to, because if a lot of people are just going to put in one or two lineups, they're just going to play Vegas and Colorado or Tampa Bay,
Yep.
and you're not going to be any different than anyone else. So if you're playing in tournaments, you're playing in larger fields, playing where people can put in 150 lineups, I think you have to get unique and different with your lineup. So I like the call. I'm a little bit of a usually we're on the same page here. You're throwing me off because you've been so hot on this show, and I'm not totally in on Colorado. As much as I was ripping Gibson and I like Rantanen to get there, I'm not stacking the Avs. So I'm not going to spend up for Nathan McKinnon. I would rather spend up for the Vegas guys at the wing position, but I love the Kopitar call. I'm in on that one. 6-1. He's averaging 10 fantasy points per game. He's averaging more fantasy points per game than Braden Point, who is $500 more expensive than him and lost Steven Stamkos on his line. I think if there is some value here, it's, Anthony Cirelli, 4.8. Lars Eller, we were on the other day. I'm not going to go that way. Chandler Stevenson, 4.2.
That guy's underrated.
Chandler Stevenson?
Yep.
Real good. Yeah. He was just given to Vegas.
I know. Didn't Washington just say take him? Yeah, he's a puck.
Here you go.
The guy's actually playing great. Yeah. Listen to this one, Meaney. I'm just throwing this your way. You're the DFS and prop king. I like stacks with the Blackhawks, Wild, Kings, and Sharks tonight. Like those are the teams. Like not even Tampa Bay, Washington, Boston. Stay away, Colorado. No thanks. Those are the teams that I like.
I'd like the call. Yeah. I have no problem rolling out Kane or DeBrincat. But yeah, Gord at 3.8 if you're looking for a value. I think that is an interesting one, or Stevenson. Yeah, over at the wing position, Pasternak, Kane. This is where I think your money should go, right? I mean, besides Pasternak and Ovechkin, but they're up at the top of the board. Kane, 9K. You're right. Nobody's going to play Patrick Kane tonight. I don't think that they will.
I think they should.
I think they should too, especially if we're going to get a night off from Vasilevsky. Like, this guy has been so good this year.
Exactly.
I think Chicago, a little bit more confidence from them hanging around with Tampa Bay and just giving that game up late. So Kane at 9 and DeBrincat at 8, I think are your contrarian tournament plays. Rantanen 7.7, Pacioretty 7.4. I think Pacioretty's a great cash game play.
I agree.
Underpriced. He's going to shoot the puck a ton. It's a really good spot for him. If we're going to see some goals, maybe game stack there. Marchand 7.3, Stamkos 7.2, Garland 6.4, Perron 6.1. Landeskog is underpriced. He's 5.9, but I like Vegas a little bit more than Colorado. But yeah, down the board here, you got Fiala for Minnesota.
I like that.
5.5. Zuccarello is 5.3. It all correlates. They're all together on the power play with Kaprizov is 4.6. I have no idea why Kaprizov
is nuts
at 4.6, right?
That's like me walking into the grocery store and they got a prime rib roast and it says $5 on it instead of $32.95. Like, are you kidding me? That guy should be double that price. Meaning that is stupid.
How many would you buy? Would you just buy 5 or 6 of the roasts? And just,
so if I had like a $30 roast and the kid was stoned and put on like a bad tag, I got the wrong number in my Rolodex there, I'd probably buy about, if it was 30 to 5, I'd probably buy about 10 or 15. Hey, freezers work, buddy. Just keep it in there and you sandwich meat, you just load up.
I do the same thing. The best thing about moving away from my small condo in Toronto to out east and having a house is
deep freezer. Yeah, exactly.
I have 2 of them, and they're full. I'll tell you that.
Nice.
They're full. Kaprizov 4.6. Come on, give your head a shake. He's free tonight. And again, Zuccarello, there's chemistry there with those two, and they're on the first power play unit. You can get Dumba in there on the point. You can get Fiala, who is on the power play as well. So it all correlates pretty well. Iafallo is 4.5 if you're into the Kings.
I like that.
Yeah, so there's definitely some value here on the board. Even Phil Kessel showed up lately. He is 3.8 is a decent price. I mentioned Sanford. I kind of ripped him earlier, but,
he's playing better.
The point, it still applies here. He's playing on the top line, 3.7 for him against the Kings. So, yeah, there's lots of different avenues you can go in terms of just value. Trevor Zegras finally hit the score sheet last time out. He's 3K. He's fairly
cheap
as well. So yeah, there's lots of value to be had if you want to spend up at wing for a couple guys, and then maybe take some of these Minnesota players. Some of the Sharks, like, let's see, which Sharks would you get involved with? Timo Meyer's 4'9".
Yep.
Kane is 5'8", and Couture's 6'3". And, Erik Karlsson, we can, get to defense. He's 3'7". It's pretty cheap, man.
That sure is. That guy
a few
used to
shots.
I remember back in the day, Meaney, that guy was not 3'7".
No, he wasn't. No.
I know they're getting long at the tooth, but still, that's a good price.
It is a good price. And I watched his past couple games since he returned to the lineup. Looked a little healthier. Scored a goal the other night. He could block 5 or 6 shots in this matchup against Vegas that he allows so much. Over at goal, we got Grubauer 8'4". Fleury is 8'2". Vasilevsky's 8'1", but McElhinney is 7'9". Halak is going to get the start. He is 7'9" as well. That's an interesting price. I don't mind that one.
Give me Quick.
Quick is 7'5". Yeah, I like it. Donovan Quick. And, man, can't do it. I was going to do Ranta, but we like Minnesota a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Ranta will see 30 plus. He could get that save bonus. Yeah, there's not a value goalie that I really like here. Subban, 6'9". It's always so risky to play a goalie against Tampa Bay, even if you like Chicago. It's super.
Yeah, the guy's been playing better this year,
really
though.
Good. Yeah, he has been playing better. Yeah, Lankinen has been playing good. So last night he made the 31 saves. He got 13 DK points, and then Subban. You look at the back of the hockey card there, and this is it, man. It's both sides. It's boom or bust. His last time out he had 1 point. The one before that he had 28, 17, 23, 19. So he's had at least 18. I'll round up from 17.9. He's had at least 18 DraftKings points in 4 of his past 5 starts. So
it's amazing.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's good for the price.
6'9". Yeah, sure. I mean, he doesn't even necessarily need to get the win. If he stops 35 saves, getting double-digit points, could return value there for you, and then you're on your way. Okay, so I like the call, Minnesota. I think Vegas and San Jose is an interesting game stack, and maybe the Kings. The Kings, yeah, absolutely, for sure. What do you think? Let's round out the bets. What's your card look like tonight?
It's going to be, honestly, this card has so many dogs. I got the one eye, no fur. It's got like 2 legs. Like, I don't know where I rescued these guys, but these dogs have problems. I like the Bruins to get it done. That's the one favorite. I think Chicago could be live, but I like them more on the puck line. Not going to touch Colorado, Anaheim, but I probably still would parlay Colorado. I think Minnesota, good road favorite there. And 2 pooches, give me the Kings at, what are they, plus 115. And I think SJ Sharkey could pull off the shocker of the night. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go, Sharks.
Let's go. Matt, any better on Wednesday? Yesterday was amazing, but I wasn't on this show.
I mean, Wednesday wasn't bad at all. Wednesday was good in terms of like mixing some props. So we had a listener like finagle all of our stuff together. So that was
you called a Hyman goal. I called a Lars Eller goal. And then Griff Dog called a Dustin Brown shot prop. So it was like a little bit of everything. And we saw the screenshot. I love to see it.
Yeah, the screenshots are fun to come in. You went 3 for 5 on Wednesday. You missed on the Kings. And you nailed the rest of your money lines and puck lines. You got St. Louis, you got Vegas, you got Colorado on the puck line. And then the Washington-Boston over is the only over-under that you gave out and you missed it. But other than that, yeah, 3 for 5 brings you to 63 for 104.
Okay. I'm on the same page as Cam in a lot of spots here besides the Vegas one. I think that the total is interesting. I think that they win the game, Cam, like 5-3 or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'm in on Minnesota, Boston, and the under, and I love the Kings too.
Me too.
So this is a lot of games there, but you could put Vegas aside if you want to have some fun with like a puck line with Vegas and Colorado or something like that. Leave those guys aside and do something there silly, because those ones, they don't really hit. They're tough. But if last night somebody at FTN had what did they have? They had a lot of the favorites like the Islanders puck line, Carolina puck line, Tampa, and the Leafs. It's like you get a little greedy with all of those. If you just go maybe 1 or 2, maybe you go Colorado and Vegas just there alone. But Minnesota, Boston, Matt, are you getting all these? I'm throwing a lot at you. Minnesota,
yeah, I got them.
Boston, and the under, and LA.
Yeah.
And I will throw Vegas in there on the puck line. I do think that they just have their way with the Sharks.
Uh-oh.
But I'll tell you what, if Fleury doesn't get the call, I'm off of it. I'll tell you right now, follow the news because it is the difference. Fleury has been so good. In my opinion, he's the Vezina.
Hands down. It's not
Hands
even
down.
a debate.
He was 26-1, Cam, when the season opened. 26-1, and it's a shame that Robin Lehner almost ruined it for us because they would have been still going game for game for game, and Fleury has been so darn good. You're looking for some shot props. I like Rantanen. I like Zuccarello. I like Kaprizov. Those are the three big ones. There was a 1.5 that I wrote down here that I just can't read my writing.
Was it Drew Doughty?
It wasn't Drew Doughty, but I do like Drew Doughty a little bit. I like Ovechkin too, 3.5. I think he's going to have to answer the bell, but I think we're just going to see a motivated Ovechkin. Cam, I know you're probably not happy. You're just like, screw Ovies. I'm not in on Ovi.
I'm just not down with guys who put sticks in guys' nuts. That's all. It's such a dirty play. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, come on, Ovechkin. Like, that's the thing about Sidney Crosby too, Meaney. You know hockey. He gets away with a lot of stuff too. Like, he's sneaky dirty too. Like, he does a lot of footwork and stuff like that. Like, you see it, but these guys don't get called for it. You're right. If you're a punk like Marchand, you're done. You get suspended. That's just the way life is.
The 1.5 was Zuccarello. So I like that one.
I like that too.
Yeah. Rantanen, Zuccarello, Ovechkin, Kaprizov, Dustin Brown. I like that.
Perfect.
Too. I like that too. Cam, always a pleasure, man. Where can people check you out?
Yeah, we're on Sports Grid. I'm working like a dog these days, 4 till 9 o'clock. I do updates, and then I go into me and Gabe Morency. We got game time decisions and in-game live up to 9 o'clock Eastern. Saturday night on Sirius Channel 204, I do a hockey show with Mr. Marlboro Smokestack, Brian Blessing from Vegas. So we do that at midnight on Saturday. It replays at 7 in the morning. So if you got Sirius, check us out on Channel 204.
Nice. I love it. So I'll give a goal from the every game before we get out of here. See if we could continue something weird here. Boston, Marchand. Chicago, DeBrincat.
I love it. I was going to say DeBrincat too. His first game.
Baby, we're on the same page there. I love it. Colorado,
Rantanen.
He's so hot. Minnesota, who you got? Kaprizov, Zuccarello, Fiala?
Zuccarello. Let's go
Zuccarello. LA, who you got?
Brown.
Vegas, San Jose. I know you're picking a Shark. You pick a Shark, I'll pick a Golden Knight. You like Kane?
Old man Couture? What do you think?
Couture? I like it. Yeah, I'm in on it. And let's go with Pacioretty. We'll get that over at prizepicks.com. Promo code MMN from Cam Stewart, Matt Best. I'm Chris Meaney. Enjoy the hockey tonight. Good luck to everybody out there. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday. Cheers.